So we the church, we pray a light, lamp of flame, city bright, King and kingdom come is what we pray. 'Cause we need a fresh wind, the fragrance of heaven. Pour your spirit out, pour your spirit out, and pour your blowing, 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 move upon our praise. Sons and daughters sing. We can hear the wind blowing, blowing. Let all the redeemed prophesy, prophesy and sing. We can hear the wind. You never stop working. You never stop working. Even when I don't see it, you're working. Even when I don't feel it, you're working. You never stop working. You never stop, even when I don't see it. I see you are working. Always working. You never stop working. In the midst of our seasons, circumstances, you're working. Sing this, church. Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness, my God.
That is who you are.
Let's declare this together. Waymaker, come on.
Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness, my God. That is who you are.
Miracle worker,
Promise keeper, light in the darkness, my God.
that is who you are. 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 That is who you are.
That is who you are, our God, our loving Heavenly Father. You're the way maker. You are miracle worker, promise keeper, everlasting Father, Prince of Peace, wonderful Counselor. Do you believe that, church? Do you believe that that is who God is? Let me just exhort you from Luke 17. There's a story there where the disciples asked Jesus, and the disciples said, "Increase our faith, Lord. Increase our faith." Jesus replied, "You know what, guys? Even though your faith is as small as a mustard seed, you can say to that tree, the mulberry tree, it's a big tree. You can say to that tree, be uprooted and be thrown into the sea." Small as a mustard seed, a grain of mustard seed. Small faith. But let me tell you this. Maybe some of you know how small a mustard seed is. Maybe some of you don't, but I'll just give you a visual illustration. The mustard seed is as small as, like, you get a ballpoint pen and a white sheet of paper and you dot that paper. The dot might be even bigger than the mustard seed, or it's the same size. But let me tell you this, even if your faith is as small as that dot, you have to remember that your faith is not based on that dot, but your faith is based on God. Your faith is based on that paper, and that paper is so much smaller than who God is, because God created the trees where that paper is from. God created the planets. God created the universe. God is big. Yes, do you agree with that? So it doesn't matter if your faith is small, because what matters is where you place that faith. Is that faith based on the mustard seed, or is that faith based on God? The way maker, the miracle worker, the promise keeper. If you're believing God for miracles, if you're believing God for salvation of family members, if you're believing God for direction in your lives, provision, protection, healing, God